the son of Tiger Woods, put on a caddy bib and carried his biggest rival's bag for 38 holes in the Florida heat. And nobody in golf can explain why. Think about that for 1 second. Charlie Woods, the kid with the most famous last name in the history of this sport. While his father is recovering away from cameras and headlines, Charlie wasn't on a practice range. He wasn't preparing for his own tournament. He was hunched over someone else's yardage book, cleaning someone else's clubs, reading greens for someone else's putts. And not just anyone's. Miles Russell, the #1 ranked junior golfer in the world. The kid every analyst, every commentator, every golf media outlet calls Charlie's fiercest rival. Charlie Woods chose to caddy for him. On U.S. Open final qualifying day, golf's longest, most brutal day, 38 holes, Florida heat, the biggest stage Miles Russell had ever stood on. And I've been covering this sport for 30 years. I've never seen anything like it. Not once. Stay with me through this entire video. Because at the end, I'm going to tell you what those two actually talked about between shots out there that day. And the people who were close enough to hear pieces of those conversations, what they're saying will completely change how you see both of these kids. But before we go any further, if you grew up watching Tiger start the back nine on Sundays, if you still get chills thinking about those red shirts, and you want real, honest golf analysis that goes deeper than the highlight packages, hit subscribe right now. This is Analysis PGA. This channel exists for exactly this kind of story. Hit the bell too, because what's coming on this channel over the next few weeks you do not want to miss. Okay, let's get into it. The media has been selling you a story about Charlie Woods and Miles Russell, and it's a clean story, a simple story. The kind of story that writes itself. Tiger's son versus the prodigy. Legacy versus talent. Charlie versus Miles. Two kids born for the same crown, circling each other, waiting to strike. That story sells clicks. It's also completely wrong. Here's what nobody's telling you. Charlie Woods and Miles Russell are friends. Not polite, shake hands for the camera competitors. Actual friends. They text each other. They practice together. They've been sharpening each other on the junior circuit since they were barely teenagers. And both of them have committed to play college golf at Florida State University. Same school, same team, same practice facility, same locker room. Let me ask you something. Does that sound like a rivalry to you? Keep watching, because this goes deeper than friendship. When Charlie and Miles first started competing against each other on the junior circuit, the people around them noticed something strange. They didn't avoid each other between rounds. Most junior competitors keep distance. You stay in your own corner. You treat the other kid like a problem to solve on the course and pretend he doesn't exist off it. Junior golf parents, and I say this with respect, usually push that mindset. You don't sit down for lunch with the guy you're trying to beat in the morning. But Charlie and Miles, they sat together. They talked about shots. They compared notes on courses. They laughed about bad breaks the way two old friends do after a casual Saturday round. And sources close to both families have confirmed something that adds an entirely new layer to this. Tiger Woods has quietly watched Miles play and offered genuine compliments to people near him about the kids' game. And Miles's family has spoken about what Tiger is building in Charlie with nothing but respect. These two families actually like each other. Now here's the part we want you to think about, because we're getting to the real reason this matters more than any other junior golf story right now. People who have watched Charlie and Miles compete in the same field multiple times keep telling me the same thing. Both players shoot lower scores when the other one is in the tournament. Read that again. Most competitors play worse when their biggest rival is on the leaderboard. The pressure tightens everything. The awareness of that other name, just seeing it above or below yours on a board, bleeds into your swing, your breathing, your decision-making on a 6-foot putt. Charlie and Miles play better. When Miles hits a long iron to 6 feet, Charlie doesn't freeze up, he attacks harder. When Charlie sticks a wedge tight from 100 yards, Miles doesn't retreat. He goes straight at the flag on the next hole. They elevate each other. And here's why that matters so much. Most junior rivalries produce conservative golf. Two kids so terrified of losing to each other that they stop taking risks. They protect leads. They play not to lose. Charlie and Miles do the exact opposite. The fuel between them isn't fear. It's respect. And respect produces a completely different kind of golf. Fear makes you careful. Respect makes you hungry. Now imagine those two training side by side every single day at Florida State. Same coaches, same range, same conversations on the course that nobody else will ever hear. The rest of college golf has absolutely no answer for what's coming. Now, the moment that made me stop everything and sit down to make this video. June 8, 2026. U.S. Open Final Qualifying. The most grueling format in professional golf. 36 holes in a single day. Grown men with full tour cards have fallen apart under the weight of that day. The heat, the stakes, the back nine of the second round when your legs are gone, and everything you have left has to come from somewhere deeper than your body. Miles Russell, 16 years old, was standing on a first tee trying to earn a spot in the U.S. Open field, and Charlie Woods was standing right next to him, caddy bib on his chest. Sources who were on the ground that day described Charlie's demeanor as completely locked in, not showing up as a favor, not coasting through it because it's his buddy's event. He was reading greens, studying yardages, having quiet conversations between shots about wind and club selection. He caddied like he meant every single step of it. 38 holes, Florida heat, on his feet the entire day, doing the invisible work that never shows up in a scorecard, but every competitive golfer knows defines a round. Charlie didn't have to be there. He could have been anywhere else on a June afternoon. He chose the bag. And I'll tell you something. That choice told me more about who Charlie Woods is than any round he's ever played. Here's where this gets generational. Earl Woods built Tiger to win alone. That was the entire design. A competitor who didn't need anyone else on the course, mentally sealed off, complete isolation. And it worked. Tiger dominated golf for 15 years as the loneliest champion this sport had ever seen. But loneliness has a cost. Tiger carried the weight of the entire sport on one set of shoulders for 2 decades. No equal, no partner, no one standing next to him who truly understood what it felt like to hold that kind of pressure. And when Tiger fell, when the injuries and everything else took it all away, he fell alone. Because the system Earl built was designed for dominance, not for support. I believe Tiger understood that cost. And I believe he decided, quietly, that Charlie's story would be different. Tiger didn't raise Charlie to win alone. He raised Charlie to compete with connection. To understand that the person standing across from you on a golf course can be the thing that makes you better, not a threat you have to destroy. Earl built a champion who conquered alone. Tiger is building a champion who conquers with allies. And that shift, right there, might be the most important evolution in the Woods family story since Earl first put a club in a toddler's hands. I want to hear from you right now in the comments. Is the Charlie Miles friendship going to make both of them stronger at Florida State? Or does real competition require distance, the kind of cold, hard separation that Tiger and Phil had for 20 years? Drop your answer below. I read every single comment on this channel. Every one. Here's my verdict, and I'll make it plain. Charlie and Miles aren't fighting over a crown. They're building one together. What they figured out, at 15 and 16 years old, is something most professional golfers never learn in an entire career. That sharpening someone else doesn't dull you. That pushing another person up doesn't pull you down. That walking 38 holes in the heat with a caddy bib for your so-called rival isn't weakness. It's the smartest move in junior golf. This isn't a rivalry. It's an alliance. And alliances are harder to beat than individuals. When they show up at Florida State, side by side, every day, sharpening each other in ways no coaching staff in the country can replicate, the rest of college golf is going to realize they never stood a chance. But here's what I haven't told you yet. Those 38 holes at U.S. Open qualifying, the conversations Charlie and Miles had between shots, the quiet moments between greens, on walks between holes, in the still moments before Miles stepped into the box on the biggest tee shots of his life. I'm hearing details about those conversations from people who were close enough to catch pieces. And what those two talk about on that course is going to completely reframe how you see where both of them are going. That story is coming very soon to this channel. If you're not subscribed yet, do it right now. You do not want that one to come across your feed and be behind on the story. This is Rick Analysis PGA. I'll see you in the next one.